All right, what's up, guys? Mike Davis here in the den, FOX5 Studios. I am joined right now by one of my favorite bands of all time, and this is a newer group, and they're already one of my favorite groups of all time. I remember being in my room listening to the Charities in 2019 when they came out with this EP, Alma. I believe that means soul in Spanish, is what I know, but I was listening to songs like Mistakes, 1, 2, 3, Shua. I mean, all these beautiful songs, Itis. And right now we are joined by the lead singer of the Charities, Brock Van Pelt, and the guitarist, Sage Provins. Did I say that right, Sage Provins?
You did. You nailed it. Most
Yeah.
people don't. It's always Provins.
See, Provins. There we go. Listen, I
Yeah.
wish I had a name like Brock or Sage because my life would be completely different. My dating history would be completely different. My artistry would be completely different. But I know so much about these two guys. Brock, show us your two wrists. You got flowers on one wrist and you got one love on the other. I want to see this. And I don't think it's creepy. I just love you.
Dude, this guy knows my tattoos on my wrist. We've never met. It's crazy. He knows my tattoos as well. Yeah, one love on the right wrist, and I got some flowers on my left wrist. That is true.
Okay.
Been there since I was 16.
The reason why these guys are hanging out with us, it's not for their health. It's not because they need to be here under government mandate. It's because they're performing a great show this Thursday here in downtown Las Vegas, Fat Cat. It's jazz, booze, and blues. Doors open at 5 p.m., show 9 p.m. You can catch the Charities, and you're going to want to do it because if you love real music, I know we're here in Las Vegas, and a lot of times we get, the stuff with the DJs, the stuff at the pools where it's more about drinking and having chicken tenders rather than the music. But these guys are real music. This is oldies. That's new. That's why they called their first album GBLO. Get blasted and listen to the oldies. So, Brock, tell us a little bit about this journey. This is a band that was constructed in California, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, all over the place, Redondo Beach. And you had this vision. You have this beautiful gift, this voice. You were born to sing. If anybody was born to sing, it's you. First time I heard your voice, I was like, this dude can sing. How old were you when you first recognized I'm gifted? I got a voice on myself.
It's crazy because I think as I get older, the more that I would accept saying the word gifted because I realize that it's been really awesome that people have kind of reiterated or told me that I can sing. But when I was younger, it was like an imitation thing. I just like imitating the singers that I liked, and so it was kind of a thing I did as a funny thing, like imitating old soul singers or imitating the lead singer of Sublime and stuff like that, and it was kind of a way for me to I just imitate their voice almost as a joke, and then I started doing it more seriously, I guess is how I would explain.
Well, you would even get in trouble in class. I read you would perform in class and sing, and you would get in trouble. I mean, so performing was something that you always loved to do. When was the first attention you got for singing, or you were so good the teachers loved it?
Well, no, when I was in first and second grade, yeah, I used to get in trouble because I was just really rambunctious and I was a class clown, and that came with a lot of just singing and dancing and not being able to sit still in my chair.
I could
Really.
see it. And that's what's so interesting. When you watch these guys perform, a lot of times, bands, the lead singer could be kind of just more mellow, kind of low key. You kind of have kind of like the Black Crowes, kind of like a Chris Robinson kind of vibe where you're dancing and feeling the music a ton. Sage, tell us a little bit about what it's like to perform with a talent like this. Because, I mean, listen, he's a humble dude, but I'm a music dude. I love music. I'm an aficionado. When I heard this, I was like, there's Curtis Mayfield in this music. There's Brenton Wood. There's a lot of old soul, R&B kind of stuff, some jazz, some funk. But tell us a little bit, as a guy who's so good at the guitar and knows music, a guy like this who can sing, but he's also writing the lyrics and composing to almost every song. Tell us about this guy's talent and what it's like to play beside someone like Brock.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, we got a little love-hate relationship going on sometimes. But other than that, he's really he is very talented. He's got an innate ability, unlike most people I know, to just come up with like really catchy hooks and stuff for songs, like
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
which is it's really cool because I watch him do it sometimes. I'm like, damn, I can't do that. Like, so it's really nice to have that, and it's really what makes it all work. At the end of the day, is a lot of Brock's general ideas that he brings to the table, and then I guess a lot of the rest of the band, the kind of the job and like the writing and recording scenario is like we fill in his gaps, maybe where we're a little bit more keen to like playing the guitar, like we play the keys a little bit better, we can make like a more of a colorful like chord arrangement and stuff like that.
Right. The
But
arrangements are beautiful and the horns. I mean, it's so full, the sound of everything you guys do. But that's what's so fascinating is that, you guys, you know, you guys don't even do a lot of covers. You don't even release covers, I really hear. So the funny thing is for you to be the proclivity to write songs with hooks, Sage, like you're saying, that are so gripping at such a young age. It's fascinating because there's a lot of these new groups out there, a lot of them on coal mine type of records and stuff where there's this new soul edge. And I love groups like Duran Jones and the Indications, Aaron Frazier, all these types of guys, Pale J. There's a lot of great guys out there, but I feel like you and Duran Jones and the Indications seem to have cracked the code to really write catchy songs and just one after the next. There's so many great stuff. So tell us a little bit about your process, Brock, because yeah, I think like Sage said, the hooks are just there. I mean, Ice Melting, Spinning Your Web, It's Not Our Time, It's Your Turn. All these songs, they're constantly you're cranking them out almost like a Motown doo-wop kind of old world type of way. So tell us a little bit about your process, because your voice is so prominent that I think we forget the writing and how good and natural that is as well. And I don't want to forget just because you have such a beautiful voice.
That really means a lot, man. Thank you. Like that's a huge compliment. It's crazy. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. Like I was always super focused on wanting to make original music, and I feel like I just really pride myself on that. And I would say that like, with the boys in the band, like we're so much like family. Like we're like brothers. That's why I say like we love like brothers. And we fight like brothers, and like we just like we all like get each other musically. And for me, really, I'm just sitting there and I'm just trying to come up with a catchy hook. And these guys are the ones who, when I sit down with them, we can really craft something. And working with like our producer currently, Anthony, who's also a really good friend, like he's really good at knowing what's too much or what's not enough, and like going that way about it. But really, like that's the thing is, man, I'm just like I'm feeling something, or I mean, one of the biggest things that happens to me like is like I'll be laying down to go to bed at night, and I'll just get like a phrase in my head that's like the chorus to something, or some sort of a like guitar lick, and then I can't go to sleep for the next 3 hours. So then I'm up just trying to figure out what that is, and then I bring it to them, and I show them, and I go like, "Yo, I got this thing," and then they kind of start to help me like craft it. Sage has helped craft a lot of of what went into like Bring Your Love and Angel Eyes with the guitar stuff. We've been doing a lot more writing together, just like as a band in whole. And yeah, it's just been like, it's been awesome. It's been a dream team lately.
I really feel like it is gelling now. And I know there's been different lineups and COVID and different things have impacted and affected the band. But I do feel like you guys are really finding your sound now. And even though the EP I loved, Alma, that had all these great songs, now it's really like you're in that groove spot. Everything has, there would be some one-off songs that I didn't understand before. And I think you had previous members who would want to sing or something like that kind of felt a little off. Now it feels like you guys are really in the groove. So explain that to me, because I'm so curious. Like Fatal Attraction, when this song came out, I get in like a groove when I'm doing my research working at Fox 5. When a song comes out that I love, I can't stop listening to it. I do it on repeat. So Mistakes was one of those songs, but Fatal Attraction was the latest one where I just felt like I heard it, and it was just, there was so much going on in that song. Tell us about the songwriting process with that, because talk to me like I'm 6 years old and I'm stupid. Like, are you writing this song and you're really talking about like some that happened to you kind of thing, and a girl, or walk me through this, because I really want to know, as I love you guys so much. I want to know how this song like comes, how it's birthed.
With that one, with Fatal Attraction in particular, it's gonna sound like really funny and cliche and kind of cheesy, but that song actually was a dream I had. It was like a dream that I had where we were in the studio and someone was playing on the piano and they were like, "Yo, come and read this. Like, see if you can sing this to this like thing I'm playing." And like the that first lyric, once I awoke with a
Yeah.
thrill of passion, lo and behold, it was a
a
fatal
fatal.
attraction. In my dream, the fatal attraction actually like jumped off the page in like red writing, and I woke up right after that, and I was like, I can't forget that, I can't forget that. And then I sat there and I like figured out what I was hearing or whatever, and I starting to like try to figure out the song or at least figure out a little idea. I made a little voice memo and then like went right back to sleep because I was like so tired. But it was like a dream, and which is like really funny and kind of cliche because like I never thought that that was actually like a real thing that could happen. But a lot of stuff happens to me like right before bed or like sometimes like that, like right when I wake up in the morning, like there's something that like I heard, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, that one was like definitely a dream, but it does go back to things that have happened in the past, like with past loves and stuff, and the rest of the lyrics are built around that because I was like, what is this? What is this lyric? And I'm like, well, this lyric like reminds me of like this thing that happened to me in my life, and I brought it to the boys, and like they they like worked hard and meticulous. Like they loved the idea, and they like we all worked on it together. We all went on like a writing retreat out to Joshua Tree, had a bunch of fun, and we sat and worked on a bunch of these songs, and like yeah, they took it and like ran with it, and they made it what it is that you
Yeah.
hear now with like all the great guitar parts that are going back and forth, and like just the background vocals and everything like that.
And the harmonizing and all that stuff. And Sage, you're such like an interesting guy too, because I was like stalking you. You're like, like hanging out in waterfalls in Costa Rica and stuff, and play.
I lived there for all of 2020. Interesting.
Yeah, he lived there
it was awesome.
You lived in like a waterfall.
Yeah, I was. That was on this guy's property that I was living with. He owned like 500 acres in the jungle. So I'd go out there and just try to pretend I was a monkey and like live off the land.
I love it. And you would do
all. I ended up building like a little shed.
And you had like all these covers you were kind of releasing. Like, tell us, because you're such a music lover. It's evident from I saw you doing Bob Dylan stuff, doing some Beatles stuff, all different kinds of things. The band. Who do you think the Charities sound like? Because you came into the band after the fact. After an EP, after the first album. So. Tell us from your musicology standpoint, because I'm trying to figure it out. And honestly, this is a group that sounds like music from the past, but honestly, I don't think there's like I don't have a really good point of comparison. I think a lot of it's because of Brock's voice, but the sound is so fresh and different, even though it has those old vibes. So who would you say, are the similar artists, the most inspired groups that really inform the sound here?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say exactly. Like, I think certainly like Alma is very unique in general. Like that one is much more difficult to compare to other groups as in comparison to the newer stuff. But like even for that stuff, like now that because I've known the band since before they were a band basically and stuff, so I saw it all come out. But now that I've listened to the songs and gone in and analyzed them and learned all the parts and everything, now I can hear the influences that like the other guys would say are their main influence. Like we really like bands like the Delphonics and like who else? Yeah, Brenton Wood, obviously. And it's not like necessarily like blatantly obvious, but if you listen to like some of the harmonies and just even the way Brock sings, like you can kind of hear it after just many, many, many listens. All these old soul bands.
Well, yeah.
But then also like with a hint of like influences like even from like bands like The Band or something, and maybe like their songwriting style.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit all over the place, I would say. Like and I think you're right. There's not like anything to like that's like a direct comparison. Like you'd be like, oh, they sound exactly like those guys.
Yeah, it's true. It's like I don't know. I'm such an idiot, but I love complicated kind of music, and I think sometimes, like I love Steely Dan. I love like a lot of soul stuff. I love Mayfield.
Big one of ours.
And it kind of you guys have that vibe and that feel, and it's almost crazy because. In music, it's the simple stuff is the hardest stuff to achieve. Like, that's what I can't believe with the songwriting that really strikes me, is how catchy. And like, if you think back to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and the way that it was like a factory, it was like going to produce like an Oreo cookie, you know, writing songs. Like, this wasn't like fun, like, you know, we're just like, no, this was like business. Like, you had to crank out hits, and kind of like the way Nashville is for like a Chris Stapleton before he can become the lead, and how he's got to be a songwriter. You guys have that kind of efficiency with the writing where it's so striking. But let's go back to the beginning a little bit, Brock, because I was reading about you and I just love this. So growing up, you were a super poor kid raised by a single mother. Cynthia, you're laughing, but this is like, I think this is informed so much of your artistry and how free you are with your singing and performance on stage. So your mom, Cynthia, single mother raising you, didn't have a lot of money, at times even homelessness kind of occurring. And she was a server, and a waitress. She was at a bar sometimes. And for extra rent money, she would actually go perform in karaoke nights. And you got to see her one time, and she would like win a lot. Take me back to that moment. What did she sing? And, you know, when you're a little kid, you see your mom just kind of as mom. And then when you get to see your parent display maybe like a superpower like that, it almost gives you a confidence. That's why I feel like you really do have this in your blood, because Cynthia Van Pelt really possesses this. And you know, so it comes from that trickle down effect. So tell us a little bit about that first moment you saw your mom performing at a karaoke night.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my mom about this like yesterday or the day before or something. We were talking about how when she worked at the tavern, and like I would come in and I'd get a bean and cheese burrito and a Shirley Temple, and I would sit at the bar. I'd sit at like a tall table or something, and then she would be like getting off, or she would still be on, and then like there would be a karaoke contest going on, and she would just sign herself up, and like once or twice I like had seen her do it, and like, you know, when I was really little, like, you know, 4 years old, and like just had no idea like what was going on around me or anything. Like, I actually for a second there did think that, like, because also my mom was very like proud, you know, of me, and like proud of just like, you know, she always used to just be like, oh, remember, you're a Van Pelt, like always have pride in yourself and in your name. So I actually grew up like those first few years of like becoming conscious. I thought that she was famous. I thought we were famous, like, or like I thought we were like some sort of. Meanwhile, like we're just living in like a 1 bedroom apartment in Torrance, California, and like, you know, my mom just works at a bar, and like, you know, she like would do some karaoke, and she won like $300. I think she did it twice, and then she would just, you know, like as I was getting older, she's like, yeah, remember? And then like I would just like put it towards rent, and then we'd have a little extra money for like fun stuff that month, you know, and like, so that was really cool to like see that. I know she really liked this one song that was like, I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Something like that. I don't remember who's it by.
Christina Aguilera?
Is that Christina Aguilera?
I think so, yeah.
She really liked
my
that.
God. How old are you guys? How old are you guys?
28 and 29.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm 33. You should know that. If you know Brenton Wood, you should know Christina Aguilera.
Well, that's kind of two sides, you know.
No, I know the song, and like I knew it was by someone. I just like I couldn't remember it.
Gotcha.
There's like that. She liked to sing a lot of Fleetwood Mac, of course, and like stuff like that. I don't remember exactly which song it was that like won her the competition or anything, but yeah.
So did that give you the confidence when you saw her? Because to put yourself out there, you know, musically, and the barrier to entry is so easy, you know, it's so easy these days. Years ago, David Geffen would have to like, you know, spot you, you know, at a bar or something and be like, oh, you guys, like, let's give you guys a deal. You know, the barrier to entry is so little. Everybody could be a musician today, you know? So to put yourself out there and to actually do it though, and put the work in and believe in yourself, what gave you guys both the confidence to pursue this? I mean, because I think there's a lot of people that probably could do it. I don't know if everybody's born with your voice, but there's people that could go out there and try it, but they just don't. Look at like your mom, there's circumstances, there's all different stuff. So what gave you the confidence to really just go be free and do this?
I mean, it kind of came from, it's just like a lifetime of doing it. Like I started playing guitar when I was like 10 years old. And for some reason, I don't know why, I always wanted to perform. Like I wanted to basically like make people happy by like playing the guitar. Like I wanted people to be stoked on what I was doing, and then hopefully they would go and make cool that I really like that would inspire me to make better stuff on my own. And
Right.
so it's like it as we grow older, it becomes more and more apparent each day, like how much of a career it can be and how much work is really necessary other than the music to actually keep it going. So it's kind of just like a balancing act. I feel like for me, like it came from just a background where my parents really like music and they did encourage me to play, but then I just really want it. Like I really want to play music for people, and I really want to make stuff that will have a lasting impact, and people will hopefully listen to songs that we're making like the same way that I listen to like my favorite artists from the days of old at this point. But that's it's just a desire to want to do it. You got to give yourself confidence, kind of.
And you're already on second base if your name is Sage Provins. Like I mean that's like I started in the dugout with Mike Davis. I mean
Mike Davis is a cool name.
No, Sage and Brock.
Is a great name.
No. It's really true, but I feel like you guys are really hitting your stride. And tell us a little bit about this because we're so excited to see the Charities here in person live Thursday, April 24th, here in Las Vegas. It's on Fremont Street, guys. We love that. Fat Cat, Jazz, Blues,
nice.
and Booze. Yeah, Fremont Street. It's exciting. It's a great venue.
That'll be cool. We haven't played on like the main strips of Vegas yet, so that'll be interesting for us.
You guys, I'm telling you, this is just the beginning for you guys. There's so much exciting stuff, and I feel like there's there's got to be, with all these singles coming out, It's Not Our Time, It's Your Turn, Fatal Attraction, there's a new album coming soon, right? I mean, come on, Brock. You're smiling.
Soon, but there is one coming.
Like I'm on my phone trying to see like every day when is Spotify or iTunes, Apple Music going to show me finally Fatal Attraction is track 6 on a new album coming out June something. What's the deal?
Here's what the deal is. We've been working. We got I just don't like to give too much away. I don't really like to let anyone know our next move. Usually I like to keep them guessing, but I will say this, we're working very hard. We're doing a lot of shows. We have music. And I think there's only one proper next step for us after these singles we've released. And so I'll just say that, if you know what I mean.
I think you guys, because I'm really keeping a keen eye on this, okay? You guys did, Jam in the Van a few years back and all this stuff, but now I'm starting to see things are taking a new level of seriousness here with the Charities. And you were talking about how you used to kind of imitate voices, Brock, and you have such a performer's quality to yourself. Even like, I think you could be an actor in like an A24 movie, because if you watch like Spinning Your Web or some, like you have a very like intense quality about yourself with some of the commitment. And in the new Fatal Attraction music video, like you guys have upped the game. There's a lot of juice going on right now. The music videos are taking another step. A lot of the things are happening. So I'm predicting this is going to be very, very soon with the Charities. Tell us, what is the show going to look like on Thursday? Are we going to hear everything? I'm going to be there. Is Mistakes going to get played?
I don't know about Mistakes.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
Really?
We have, depending on, I don't know how long we're playing at the Fat Cat, but depending on how long we're playing, we got to double check with that and see how long but I'm never opposed to really, playing something if someone specifically asks for it in the right amount of time. We did, I will say that we did rehearse it last night for the first time in a long time, because we haven't been playing it live, just so that you know. That's an older song.
It's been a while.
And we have such a stack of newer songs that we like so much. So I will say that Mistakes has not been on the set list for I would say even like a year now.
Wow.
We haven't played it, yeah.
Okay.
Because of how much new stuff that we're working on. But yeah, yesterday we kind of dusted it off a little bit just to say. So I don't know. Maybe we can see if the whole band wants to throw it together, and we would do it for you, Mike.
That's good, because when that first came out and I saw that EP, I listened to that song for literally 2 weeks straight. I couldn't stop. There was something about that song. It was the same way with Fatal Attraction. And there's so much great stuff that you guys have coming up the pipeline that we're so excited about. What does Cynthia say, your mom, about all the success right now and where you guys are at?
You know, this goes back to kind of the question you were asking earlier of like, when did you realize that like you were going to do this or that you were going to take it seriously, or like how were you afflicted to do this sort of thing? Like, you know, when I was like younger, my mom used to tell me, she says, I don't care if you're a bum, just you better be the best bum on the block. So she was just very like supportive of anything that I did. She's just like, just do whatever you're gonna do, just do it to the most, be like the best at it, or just try to do your best and give it your all. And even if I tried, like I wouldn't be able to get away from the music. I feel like I'd always constantly have always been like brought back into it somehow, some way. And she's just hyped, man. She's just like she's super proud of me. It's like exactly what I think she would have wanted, at least is what she tells me. She's just, you know, because my mom went through hard times and like we didn't have much growing up. So like, you know, she's just happy that I'm alive and healthy and singing for people. And she comes to the shows sometimes when she can. And like, yeah, she's super hyped. She's super proud.
Well, I want to thank you guys, both of you, because I think it takes so much courage to pursue a dream, so much courage to put artistry out there and to listen to your heart and to do what you're meant to do. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. And your mom, it's a great lesson, because whether you're born on third base or first base or in the dugout, whatever your situation is, I think success is really about being able to pursue and chase dreams, you know, and your mom really gave you that. And I'm sure, Sage, your parents were the same way, you know, playing since 10 and all that stuff. So, I mean, listen, you got to live in a waterfall in Costa Rica. I mean, that's, you know, so.
I wasn't living in the waterfall.
I want to exaggerate. Okay. You were, you know, waterfall adjacent, you know, waterfall adjacent. Hey, you know what, Brock? I don't know. That could be a new good album cover. Right,
dude, I like
title.
That. I like that.
Waterfall adjacent. That's a title right there.
That is a title. No, that is a title. It's a song written by Sage, and it's on the album.
Yeah, I'll hit my buddy up, and we'll go back to that same waterfall.
And then we'll do a picture with the whole band at the waterfall.
See,
you know?
Okay. At least if you had a third wrist, if you had a third wrist, Brock, I'd make sure you tattoo that on there.
Waterfall adjacent.
All right, two last things, because I don't want to keep you guys all day. Sage,
I think you're good.
I'm trying to figure this out. I want to be a groupie, you know, for the charities. I haven't found the application on ZipRecruiter.com yet, but tell us if we listen. I'm an OG. I know the charities from the get go, but people are going to want to start jumping on this train. What is the best way for people to start what do you tell people who are trying to become new fans of this group? What's the best way to just embrace you guys from 0 to 100? If you want to be a groupie to getting, you know, accustomed to the sound, give us the pitch.
Well, I'd say that you got to have a really open sense of humor. Okay. That's a good way to get to our hearts really easily. If you can come up and say some like crazy that makes us laugh, I'll be stoked on it.
Okay, good.
And just come up and literally embrace us. Come give us a hug.
Right. I think he was also saying like how to, if people are first getting to know us, like what's the pitch to be like, hey, these are the charities, like this is the vibe. But it's always a hard question, I have to say, because we don't really. I think the thing with us is we never really know what the people are gonna love the most. But I would say, you know, just if you like West Coast vibes, if you like songs that make you cry, if you wanna listen to something and feel something in the heart, or you want to listen to something that's gonna make you want to like, you know, have a good Sunday barbecue and drink some beers in the California sun, like that's the vibe.
It's moving and grooving. I don't want to put you guys in a box, because I don't really think there's a box for you guys to fit in, because you guys do so much incredible stuff. Real quickly, I have so many questions. I could talk to you guys all day long, but this Thursday, April 24th, guys, it's the NFL draft, but beyond that, I mean, even more importantly, the Charities are here. Fat Cat, East Fremont Street, 5 p.m. doors, 9 p.m. show. They're going to play Mistakes for Mike Davis, which is going to be very exciting. So make sure you go there for that. Real quickly, just like a one-word answer, because I'm so curious from a musical standpoint. Brooke, are you like classically trained, music theory? Can you read and write music, or is this all by ear and all this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely the opposite of well-trained and music theory and schooled. So no.
Can you play any instruments or no?
I can play I can play guitar, bass, drums.
Oh, okay.
Piano, like all the basic stuff, but I just use it all mostly for writing, and I like to play like solo gigs myself and stuff. So I'll play my guitar and I'll sing at solo gigs, or I'll do like winery gigs or weddings and stuff like that. And, like,
gotcha. All right.
Yeah, no, I like to play all the instruments. It's just when it comes down to us as a band performing, like I don't really need to do that. The guys, like, they handle it, they lock it down. They're all like really masters of their instruments, and they've spent a lot of time on them. And like, it just they're like, you go out there, you do your thing, you sing, and when we work together in the studio, it's like it's about writing, and
I love it.
I pick up instruments and I figure things out. But yeah, it's
I love
it. I was never trained to do anything. I was mostly just me playing guitar and stuff in my house when I was a kid.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Brock Van Pelt, Sage Provins, Mike Davis here with the Charities. Thanks so much, guys. Good luck with the rest of the tour, the brand new album, Waterfall Adjacent. And we will see you guys Thursday here. Fat Cat, thanks so much for spending some time with us. I love you guys. Keep putting out some great music.
Thank you, man.
Cheers, Mike.
Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you soon.